Hey guys, we're doing a quick video on this diesel DZ7315. It actually works. I have this hand going, and I also have, I believe, this hand going, but these two batteries are dead, so I'm gonna change these two. It's gonna be a quick video. First things first, we're gonna have to take the band apart. I'm gonna use one of these link remover bases, and I'm gonna see where the arrows are pointing at, and it's gonna have to come out from this side on the bottom here, this side. So I'm gonna hammer it on this side. So I'm gonna take one of these pin removers. You can find them online, and these are easier to use rather than using the other types of tools. At least with me, it works really good. The pins don't get stuck, so hammering them out always does the job right. Alright, so let's hammer that out. The pin's out on this side. Let's just pop it out. Okay, so now the back. Most of the watch tools, especially the wrenches, they're not necessarily this big because it's a really wide watch. It's like in the 60s, maybe 62s, 62 millimeter, I would say. So it's going to be hard for you to find. If you were doing this at home, it would be really hard for you to find a wrench that's going to cover this much area. Like, I know for sure that this one right here that I use most of the time in my videos, this is not going to be wide enough. It's always going to be so small on both sides. So instead, I will try this one, and this is the more common one too, because it gives you a lot more area to cover. So this can definitely open it up. The only thing is, when you're opening it, when you're removing the back, this stem, it always comes in between the wrench and the sides of the watch. So let's say, for example, if I was to use this right here, it will not fit in here because the crown is there. So you can always pull the crown out, and it might give you a little bit of room, but even then it doesn't really sit right. Like, you will never be able to like have it sit right in that crevice. So instead, you could try here, but it's going to be so close to the body of the watch or the band that it's not going to sit in here as well. You might be able to get a little bit, just a little bit, but none of these areas you'll be able to access with this. Even this one, same problem. This one, same thing. If you were to do this, so now you're stuck because none of these will give you enough area or room for you to open it up. So I have this makeshift watch. This is one of the wrenches I had to basically, it's a little makeshift that I made with an old piece. So this has the plastic casing. So I moved those little the watch opening bits, and I moved them over here on this one, which is a metal based, so it's much stronger to hold on to, and this will definitely give you more area for you to be able to change the battery on. So I'm going to use this one, and this one's much cheaper to buy. This was probably the best one. If you have a lot of watches, I think you should get both of them, and you should also get this. And these are all wrenches. You can always use the kits. Usually don't come with the best wrenches, but if you buy them separately, you probably end up spending anywhere between $20 and $30, and you can do batteries at home with no issues. So we're going to use this one. We're going to see if this spreads all the way open like this. Alright, so this one should be able to open up, yeah, just a little more. I'm going to make sure that it sits all the way on the corner. so we can use that exact size. Yeah, it fits. So it's reaching both sides without touching the sides, or without touching any other area, which is not good because you will scratch it. So I'm gonna hold it tight from end to end. Tighten it just a little bit, just to make sure it doesn't scratch the back of the watch. And I'm gonna very carefully do this. Okay, it's moving a little bit. Alright, good. So I think this is the only tool that will be able to, like, you'll be able to open or remove the back. So let's unscrew it and see what's out here. Okay, so we have 1 battery, 2, 3, and 4 batteries here. And I'll show you the type of movement it does use. It might as well be Ronda or Miyota. This is a Japanese machine right here, look. So this one is, it's a Japanese Miyota right there. And this one, I don't know if I can get it to focus, but it is also a Miyota. I can read it. I hope you can too. So this is another Miyota right here. This is another Miyota right here. And this one is, it's also it's also a Miyota. So they're all Miyotas right here. 1, 2, 3, 4. So this one takes a 377 battery, 377 battery, 364, and 364. So the 2 that we need that are not working is this one on the bottom. I mean, this is the top. So these 2 right here. I think this one's working, but I'll change it anyway. So I'm not going to change this one, but I'm going to change these 3. So the 2 right here. Okay, so these 3 I'm going to change. So but this one is very simple. You could just slide it on this metal piece right here. Just slide it so gently, just like that, and it will pop right out. So the camera's trying to zoom. Hold on, there you go. All right, just slide it out without touching this, because most of the time this will ruin the watch. So slide this one as well. There we go, comes right out. You don't have to use any force, it just slides right out. So you could just put the batteries away. And this one's a 364, so let's just do the 377s first. I'm gonna take 2 of these 377s, and I'm gonna install both of them, but then we'll just do the 364 right after we're done with this. So let's do the 377 first. We're just gonna slide it right here, just like that. Just leave it on top, and you could do the same trick. You could just slide this metal piece out and push the battery in. It just sits right in, and it clicks a little bit too, so that's always a good sound to hear. And then with this one too, I'm just gonna slide it in here first, and I'm not gonna push it. I'm just gonna leave it, and right here I'm gonna push the metal piece out and slide the thing, and clicks right in. So that's just, we got the 377 batteries here. Both of them are the same number. This one's going to be a 364. So let's just do the same thing here. This metal piece, you see this? I'm going to slide it out or push it down. Either way it works. But if it doesn't come out, you can always pop, just put the little tweezer right underneath it, and you can lift it up. But make sure that you don't force it, because this breaks very easily. This is basically going to touch the battery regardless of what size it is. It could be a 321, it's going to be slightly lower profile, or the 364 that basically touches it right here. So I'll take a 364. I'm going to use this brand, Renata. It's actually a Swiss brand. It's actually probably the best battery that you can find in the market. So I'm going to put the battery in here, and I'm going to slide it in, push it, and pop it in without having to move that. This one you might need to push the bar out a little bit, both of these, but this one you could just slide it towards the bar and it will go in. Alright, so we'll push. I think we're done with the batteries now. You could see some sort of movement in there. So that one's working, that's good. That one's working as well. You could just make sure that you want to set the right time, you can set the right time. And that one's good. And you can slide this one too. Set whatever time you want to set the right time, you can set it to it. And this one, it's moving now, so let's just set it to a different time zone. You can have all these different time zones going, and this one's already going, so we don't need to change it now. To put it back, it's going to be simple. The 3 small faces for the plastic casing, and this one for the back as well. We're just going to slide it right on top, just like that. And it sits right there. None of the sides will be lifted up, so we'll just leave it the way it is. And then the back, obviously you're just gonna sit it on top, and just with your thumbs do it the first few times. Just gonna like basically screw it back on without using any power, like any of the tools over here. And just gonna tighten it as much as possible, but then once you're done, use the tool from side to side. Make sure they're not gonna scratch the back, and as tight as possible. That was good, yeah. And it's all done now, so we'll just put the pin back on. This is where the pin's gonna go. I'm gonna hold the band together just like that, and I'm going to take the pin and I'm going to push it right on top, just like that. And then you just hammer it. And it's done. Thank you for watching, guys.